A part of your self interview and shadow work is addressing your thoughts and behaviors that are yours and which ones that are learned. We're camcorders as kids that record info and add it to our behavior and our lifestyle, even when we don't like the person we are learning from. You know what I'm saying? So even when you hate the motherfucker, like you have a negative relationship with your parents, if you was watching them, between you watching them and having the same DNA as and genetic memory as them, that's a bad combination. So it don't even matter if you don't like them, because the fight to not be your parent might just make you more like your parent. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of things, a lot of your negative behavior is learned, whether it be learned from them, learned from a relative, learned from the TV, whatever it might be. A lot of it is just learned. And you have to sit back and really analyze when you do something like, is that even me? Is that even who I really am? Is that how I really think? Or is that how I've been trained to think? Is that how I've been made to think? You know what I'm saying? Is that what someone taught me to like be like? Is that how someone taught me to move? To, you know what I'm saying? Are those really my movements? You have to really sit and analyze this, because you'll be surprised some of the things you do, and that's not even really you. You just transforming into that person that you learned how to be. You know what I'm saying? But that's not who you are at your core. I do this all the time. You know, this will probably be a quicker video, but I do this all the time. You know, I at my core, like how you see on camera, I'm very smiley and laughing, and I just want to be goofy and stuff. But if you met me in person, you might be kind of thrown off, because sometimes I could be very stoic, because that's how I learned to be. Sometimes I could be very angry. I just look like I'm not approachable, even though I don't desire to be. Even though I don't even notice that that's the behavior or the energy that I'm giving off. It's just how I've learned to be, unfortunately, through this learned behavior, through me trying to protect myself, through me picking up things from other people. You know what I'm saying? And a part of that is something I realized, that I'm very angry. And I've been growing up around angry ass people, and I have a lot of things to be mad about myself. So that is a bad combination. You know, it's like life is giving me a reason to be mad, and then I'm learning to be angry from these angry people who didn't, know how to handle their emotions in a proper way or in a healthy way. You know what I'm saying? And I catch myself doing this shit all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'll be in traffic or something, and somebody cuts me off, and it's like how serious that I get. Again, it's like you transform into someone else. It's like what the, like, who the fuck? Just like, you know what I'm saying? It's like you just, and then it's like I catch myself and I start breathing, and I'm like, what was that? It's like, who was that? Sometimes when you're not having the ideal day, it could be even worse. And if I'm doing that in road rage, I gotta ask myself, shit, road rage is some simple shit. It's not, because it could be life or death. Don't get me wrong. Like, some people take it that extreme, but for the most part, road rage can be some simple shit. So it's like, what else have I learned? What else have I learned that I need to unlearn? You know what I'm saying? Like, my Jamaicans have the inside joke of just being like miserable. It'd be like, man, a Jamaican woman always miserable. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's something that you can learn to be. You can just learn to be miserable. You could just be growing up around people who don't know how to be happy, no matter what they have, no matter what's going on. You give that nigga a mansion, and that nigga's miserable in the mansion. You know what I'm saying? And that could just be a learned behavior. Most things are learned behaviors, and I keep using myself as an example to inspire you to be like, oh shit, I wonder what the fuck I learned. Your dating practices might all be from learned behavior. The things that you allow and accept might be from learned behavior. You may be trying to recreate your household, whether it be for in a positive way or a negative way. It's just things that we psychologically do naturally. You know what I'm saying? That's why this is one of the most important parts of your self-interview, because you have to address all the negative behavior. You have to address your programming. You have to address what serves you in a positive way and what serves you in a negative way. And you want to remove all the negative programming. The negative programming is the doubt that's in your mind. It's what keeps you fearful. It's what keeps you doing things that don't get you to where you want to be or where you need to be. The positive programming, sometimes we don't get positive programming to lead us to where we want to be. It is how it is, unfortunate. So we have to start fresh. And we can't start fresh until we remove the programming and kill that old self that we were and desire to become a new self. Starts off with a desire. You got a desire to be somebody new. Then you got to map out in your mind who that new person is, what they look like, how they walk and talk, dress, whatever, and slowly become that person. You know what I'm saying? And the only good programming that you may have learned, like I'll be saying, is like how to bake a pie, how to clean up after yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit, you might have only learned how to drive. Sometimes it'd be like that, especially after you denormalize toxic behavior. It's very unfortunate, but we are making the best out of our situation, and we are doing a lot of toxic shit on a day-to-day basis that is negatively affecting us that we think is normal. You think certain shit that you've been through is normal. Like, we just now recognizing what abuse is, our generation. We just now denormalizing certain shit we just don't tolerate that the older generations had to go through. You know what I'm saying? That's why the age of consent in most states is still 16, 17. Because that's the reality that we coming out of. Where you be like 35 marrying a 16-year-old. But we're the generation that we're like the cleanup crew. You know, we don't stand for that type of stuff anymore. We see something like that, we at least gonna try to call it out. You know what I'm saying? So you have to try to address all the things that taught you this negative behavior. And you want to embrace all the positive learned behavior. And you want to keep that and begin to remove the negative learned behavior and work from there. You know what I'm saying? Just start programming yourself with positivity. Start immediately. Start tonight. Start today. Start after this video. You know what I'm saying? And journaling is going to be very key here. Because you really want to address where this shit comes from. And how it just pops up. And how you don't even realize that you're doing it. You don't even realize, like, the times that people point out stuff to me like, damn, you just be looking so mean. You just be looking so angry. I'm like, I don't want to be like that. Like, I didn't even realize that that's something that I was doing, but you just be doing it. Because you learn to be that way. Because of who you were learning it from. And you'll notice, as you start to do this, you'll start to pinpoint who you was learning. Who your camcorder was recording this whole time. And when you start to realize this thing that they going through, you realize, damn, I'm like battling the same shit because I'm just learning from your ass. And it does make it a little easier, and it also helps you understand it. But first, you just got to be open to that. You might not want to be like, damn, I learned all my negative behavior from my mom or dad or from my uncle or something, because you might see them in a certain light. Or you may not be ready to face the facts of like who that particular person truly is. And it don't got to be a person. It could be a person, place, or thing. Like I said, you know, you start denormalizing certain behavior. The Boys and Girls Club could go from a lit place for you in your memories to a traumatic place. Just by you denormalizing certain shit that shouldn't have been happening. You know what I'm saying? So start to deal with your learned behavior and stop transforming into the person that you don't want to be, and start transforming into the person that you need to be.